Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of KIPNspire Live. This week's topic is going to be on 8th and ninth grade. This is not only just for the students, but also for parents and community and support, etc. So we're going to hit on 5 key items, and those 5 areas are going to be on just sure encouragement for these young people, diversifying our reading as parents and community, but also for the students, diversifying the knowledge that's going into the brain. Culture, environment, and mentorship will be number 3. Number 4 is going to be on the GPA, and number 5 is going to be on advanced placement courses and honors classes. So one of the things that we're going to integrate into this discussion is the 8th grade level. This is primarily focused on ninth grade, but I really want us to take in consideration why it's so important at that 8th grade level. There was a study done in California where it showed that 4,200 students dropped out of 8th grade in 1 year. Another 13,000 students did not even show up for the ninth grade class, and they graduated 8th grade. So that's 17,000 students that we just lost. And for me, it's hard for me to accept that. I know that there's many people out there that's hard to accept as well. And KIPNspire is going to make sure that in this session, you receive the proper information, not only to allow these kids to have success, but that prolonged success throughout their careers and then turn around and become mentors themselves. So, number 1, encouragement. People, we have to keep our children in school. We absolutely owe it to ourselves. We owe it to our community. We owe it to our families to keep these children in school. So, 8th and ninth grade are some of the levels where we lose our children the most. Studies have shown that ninth grade is 3 to 5 times greater chance. You have a 3 to 5 times greater chance of making an F in ninth grade than any other grade in school. And that is a very staggering statistic, but it also is a statistic that allows you to put a focus. And so as we talk about ninth grade today, we say, hey, well, we know what the stats are telling us. Now let's put something in place with our own kids to be able to provide them the proper support that's needed at this level. Now, how do we help with that? 1, we talked about encouragement. 2, we're going to talk about the environment and the culture that these children are in. So imagine I pick you up out of your job today and put you in a new job, new location, and everyone there has 3 to 4 years of experience over you. Well, that's the way a student feels when they go into ninth grade. And this is something that we have to take in consideration as we look at what things can be done to make them more successful. And that's culture and environmental awareness is very critical, along with the mentorship and the guidance and parents getting involved and sitting down with counselors and understanding what environment am I dropping my child off into every single day. And if I can't change the environment that I don't like, what ways can I help my student to navigate that environment in a very professional manner? So we talked about encouragement and cultural awareness, environmental awareness. Now we're going to talk about one that may be a little touchy for some, and that's diversifying our reading. As a underrepresented demographic, we are very, very far behind. And we are going to have to improve ourselves. And one way is to diversify what we're feeding into our brain. The literature that we are feeding into our brain is very critical in our success. Now, there are certain books that people may say by ninth grade you may need to read is To Kill a Mockingbird, The Count of Monte Cristo, Lord of the Flies. These are normal books that people would say, by ninth grade or during ninth grade you may read. You may read Shakespeare and different things like that. So all I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with reading ESPN, the magazine. There's nothing wrong with the YouTubes, the Twitters. These things are very standard way of living these days and very important. But make sure you diversify. You may be able to use some of your social media to even get support on your readings of these books and see what other people's opinions were, and if you interpreted things correctly in what you were reading. So make sure that you diversify the reading, and parents, make sure you diversify your reading. What you feed into your brain is going to be very critical in what your children are looking to feed into their brain. So it's not a beg and plea. It's just me saying, hey, if we want to improve our cultural awareness and be able to position ourselves to be successful in a very global economy, we're going to have to diversify our reading. And let's start in the 9th grade here. So number 4, a critical item we're going to hit on is the GPA. And that is your grade point average. It's going to be with you throughout your high school career. And if you choose to go to college, it's going to be there with you as well. The GPA is so critical. There was a study done in Chicago with 9th grade students, and it said that if a student received one F, just one, they had a 60% chance of graduating high school. If a student did not receive any Fs, 0 Fs, in 9th grade, they had an 83% chance of graduating high school. That is, once again, a staggering statistic. Some people say, well, Brian, that's just numbers. Okay, just say that it's numbers. But I promise you, any person that's graduated high school or any person that's graduated college can tell you how important a first year high GPA is, or how a first year low GPA negatively affects you. And those that have gone through it, I challenge you to reach out to a person going into the 9th grade and give them this encouragement and let them know that it is a mighty climb uphill if you start off slow. Now, we're not saying that every student was going to have a 4.0 GPA, but every student does have the ability to pass their classes. And that's what this is about, is just getting off to a passing start, and from there you can build upon success. So the last item we're going to touch on today is a very touchy subject as well, because some may say, Brian, well, I want my child to be ranked high, and I want my colleges to look at me a certain way, and that's AP courses and honors classes. And I'm not trying to tell any parent that their child isn't smart enough, and I'm not trying to tell any student that you're not smart enough. But what I am trying to tell you is that be very wise and make a smart choice here on your honors courses and advanced placement courses. You do not get credit for failing these courses. You need to be successful in learning in school, not reaching for something that's not attainable. Now, with that being said, I do not want to discourage any young person from trying to better themselves and doing an advanced placement course or honors class. But what we will make sure we stress here is that you need to pass these courses. These courses aren't for fun, and if you do not make good grades in these courses, there can be a negative effect. So this is something that I've seen parents and heard of many parents that want their children to be ranked high and the college to look at them a certain way. But number one, let's make sure that if we choose to go that route, that we put the proper support systems and tutorials in place to make sure that these kids are successful in these grades. So I just want to sum up the 5 things that we talked about today. 1 is encouragement to these young people. 2 is diversifying our reading. 3, culture and environment and mentorship. Number 4 is making a good GPA in that first year, maybe being a little smarter about our extracurricular activities that we choose. And then number 5 is making sure that we're making smart choices with advanced placement classes and our honors courses that we choose to take. So I hope that something that we delivered tonight is beneficial to a parent, to a student, to someone even in the school systems that's helping these children matriculate through the process. I'm also wanting to make sure that if there's any particular things you guys are looking for next week's discussion as we prepare for that 10th grade year, please send me an email, KIPNspire@gmail.com. You can visit the website at www.KIPNspire.com. Follow us on Facebook at Kippens, KIPNS, and we're at Stimulus Package, that's STEMULUS PKG on Twitter. So I just want you to know, like KIPNspire always says, one is too small of a number to achieve greatness. We need everyone's involvement in our children's success. I greatly appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.